Hello everybody, today I'm going to be talking about some one-of-a-kind miniatures I bought off the internet, but I also felt that this is going to be a little bit of a different video, and I wanted to give some background and some context before I start talking about the miniatures. I always wanted to get into D&D miniatures and painting miniatures for tabletop games, but it was just never affordable for me. It wasn't until that first Reaper Bones Kickstarter where I was able to actually afford all the miniatures that I always wanted to mess around with, and I started painting them. I actually painted this little dragon here. This was the young dragon Reaper Bones, and this was literally the first dragon that I owned and the first dragon that I painted. And then I went on to paint my second dragon, which was Death Sleet. That was like the first large miniature that I painted. So I was new to the hobby, so I didn't know that all of the miniatures that I thought were the best ones that I decided to paint first, they all came from the same sculptor, Sandra Garrity. Someone who is foundational, not only to miniature sculpting, but I would say like the D&D hobby, considering how many classic miniatures she sculpted. So, just recently, a large amount of miniatures from Sandra Garrity, including one-of-a-kind green sculpts, became available on the internet. I felt this was a one-in-a-lifetime chance to purchase an actual piece of the hobby history. So let's take a look at some of these one-of-a-kind items, and I hope people in the comments of this video can give some more insight into some of these pieces of tabletop history. This is the first thing that caught my attention. This is an original green sculpt by Sandra Garrity for Reaper Miniatures. If you didn't know, this is the original sculpt that then they make the mold from. It's amazing. I owned the metal version of this miniature, and now I own the one-of-a-kind original green sculpt. It's pretty amazing. Many people are doing amazing things with digital sculpting, but I personally think that there's just something special about a one-of-a-kind piece of art like this. Listen, this is one of those things I have no idea what it is. If you know what it is, please let me know in the comments below. It could be like just a tag of some sort, like a decoration thing. It doesn't seem to have the setup to be like a buckle or anything, so I honestly don't know. Let me know in the comments if you do know. So this is actually like clearly a one-of-a-kind miniature made special for some reason, and I don't know why. It's going to be in a place of honor in my collection as like literally the only miniature like this in the world. I reached out to a miniature company about this miniature, and they said the two-headed horse was created by a former employee. It is not an official figure. It is not available for licensing or production. Given, like, you know, the fact that the bottom has the maker's mark clearly intentionally rubbed out, and it looks a little bit cobbed together, like it was done maybe a little bit quickly. There's a seam line where, like, if if this was a serious production model, I don't think that seam line would be there. So this is like a one-of-a-kind two-headed horse that was made for a very specific purpose. Maybe even for like a specific gift. Maybe this is like literally the only one in existence. So I just knew it looked incredibly unique, and it's going to be... it's definitely going to be in a position of great honor in my collection, and every time somebody asks about it, I'll be able to tell them the story about it. These are just some amazing old school miniatures, and the bugbears were sculpted by Andrew Chernak, who was the president and co-owner of Grenadier, and he was actually the one who got into contact with Garrity to freelance for Grenadier miniatures. And then you have the Ral Partha Were-Tiger, which was actually sculpted by Tom Meyer. And I know Tom Meyer did teach Sandra Garrity some sculpting techniques at some point in their career. Here we have the original green sculpt for the Terror Bird from the Splintered Light Miniatures collection. Man, it's just really amazing. I just love these things. I'm sorry, it's one of my favorite monsters, the Axebeak, the Terror Bird. what a great sculpt and another piece of miniature history. This is a Dark Sun box set that I got. This is the one non-miniature item that I bought. This is the Road to Uruk box set. Now, previously, I did, in a thrift store, I found this loose copy of one of the booklets from the Tier set. So, I love this thing. I flip through it all the time. It's one of the nicer things in my collection. And again, I just sort of found it randomly at a thrift store. So it was very cool that I was able to get this box set. Obviously, this was from the collection of Sandra Garrity. Garrity's name is on this box set. So I purchased it, and I'm going to do my best to make sure that this has a good, prominent place in my collection. But yeah, very intriguing setup for these box sets. You have a fold-out container, which has the two spiral-bound notepad things that actually can stand up on their own. It's a very interesting, very unique way to set up a box set like this. I think kind of ahead of its time if you consider how campaigns are now formatted in digital format. They're kind of more like this if you consider the digital format in something like Roll20. But yeah, it also comes with a lovely catalog featuring everything from 1992, including some of the Ravenloft sets there. We got the Forgotten Realms sets, a lovely piece of history there. The artwork on this is absolutely amazing. And I love the way that these little, the NPC setups and the monster stats are set up. It's just so nice. And yeah, here I'm showcasing how you can actually set these up on the table, and then you can flip through, and so kind of everybody in the table can kind of see what's going on. I thought that was very interesting. Man, every time you see the black and white artwork, it's just really impressive. I hope to one day write a campaign and just have it all be, you know, just black and white artwork. Though the Dark Sun colorations and the cartoony colors here, that's really nice as well. Look at that logo. Man, they don't make them like that anymore, do they? And of course, we have the stuck in the way back. I discovered we still had the survey postcard from TSR, so maybe I'll fill this in and send it back to Wisconsin. So this whole experience definitely put in perspective what is important to me and what is not important to me. I think there's a lot of stuff that I've collected over the years that I don't really need to keep anymore. And what the stuff that is super important to me, it's not as much stuff as you would assume. So I would say this is a good thing because, you know, if you have some stuff that you're like, wow, this is amazing that I have this for my collection, or I can actually, you know, use the Dark Sun set when running a game, you realize, well, there's other stuff in my collection that's just not, it doesn't really have any meaning behind it, and I should probably either sell that or give that to somebody who will find meaning for it. So I'm going to be doing that, and I'm going to be really focusing on that for the next couple months. Yeah, so this video is definitely a departure from my normal style of content. I'm still going to be doing a lot of voiceover video and stuff like that as I continue my amateur attempts at voiceover and voice acting. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. It put me in a more positive state of mind, and I hope you enjoyed watching it, and I hope you gained something positive from watching this video.